Now we have added our custom post type of case studies, we now want to be able to add some custom fields to this. So you still might be struggling to understand what is this custom field that we're going to add. So don't worry, you're going to fully understand it by the time we have finished this lesson. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to install the classic editor first of all, because I can't stand the new block editor. So I'm going to install that since that is already here, so that I'm working with the classic editor. Of course, this is personal preference. You guys might prefer the block editor, and that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to activate the classic editor. Now, if we are going to want to add some custom fields, we're going to need a new plugin, and we're going to use one called Advanced Custom Fields. So just ACF. Now, this is a free version that we're going to be using, but it does also have a pro version, which is a paid version. I think it's about $50 a year, and it just opens up some additional features. So if we actually take a look at that, so ACF WordPress, hopefully that will bring this up. Advanced Custom Fields, here we go. So with the premium version, I know you get stuff like image galleries, so you can display galleries using this advanced custom field, and a few different things here. So yeah, personal one website is $50 a year. If this was something that you wanted because you needed these additional features, then you can go ahead and purchase it. But, you know, just to show you how this works, we're going to be using the free version here. So let's go ahead and start doing that now. So let's install the advanced custom fields. Again, we can see over 2 million active installations. So very, very popular, and last updated just 5 days ago. So again, very up to date. They're always keeping it up to date with the new versions of WordPress. So let's activate that now. And now we'll see another new option called ACF. So this time what we want to do, we want to come to field groups. Now if we open up field groups, we'll see a page similar to this. So what we actually want to do here is add our first field group. And then what we're going to do with that field group is basically attach that to a custom post type. So bear with me, let's do this together. So field group, let's select add new. So for this one, I'm going to give this a field group title of case studies, because this is going to be used for our case studies. I'm going to type in case studies there. And now what we'll see, if I close that down, we can actually start adding these new fields. So let's actually see what different fields that we can add. So we've got under here at the minute, under the general, we can see here the field type, the label to give that field, field name, and the default value. So let's just go ahead and add a few here. And then what we'll do, we'll hop over to the editor to see what that looks like on the editor page. So when we're trying to add a new case study. So let's say that we are looking for, let's say we're adding case studies, right? So first of all, if you imagine the text editor as it stands, already has a title which we can dynamically hook into. So we're going to leave the title as maybe the title of that case study. Then what we might want to do is add a new field type, which we're going to leave that as text. And then this field label is basically what we're going to have above the field type, that box, just to explain what it is that we want our users to add in here. So let's say the company that we want. So the company of the case study that we are producing this for. Now the field name is going to be company again, and the default value I'm going to leave blank. So with that one done, we can go ahead and select add field. We come down to this one again. Let's just take a look at some of these different field types, because there are a lot to choose from. Now remember, some of these will only be available with the pro version. So, for example, we can't use stuff like the gallery, which if you wanted to do something like the Airbnb, where we're showcasing different images within a custom post type, we wouldn't be able to do that without paying for the pro version. Now, of course, normally we would want to add a gallery because it just makes sense. We want to showcase different images of these websites that we've built within our case studies. But of course, we're not going to be able to do that. without paying for it. So I'll show you how we can do that without a gallery. It's not ideal if this is the exact sort of thing that you're trying to do yourself for your own website, then you would probably definitely want to purchase the Pro version. So let's now say add in a new field type. Let's say we want the URL. So we want the URL of the website. So the field label would be website URL. Field name is website URL, and the default value will be blank. So let's now come down to add field. Let's do another one. Let's now do a what should we say? Let's say an image. So this could now be, now bearing in mind we also have the featured image within that text within the editor. If you remember, if we come to add new case study, we have the title, the featured image, and the editor. So we've got the featured image already. Let's go ahead and select the one here. Let's say desktop image. So this would be the desktop image of the website that we have built, so we can use that as a we can showcase what that website looked like on a desktop. So we can leave that like that. Now I'm going to leave this as an image array, so it's going to return this as an array. You can use a URL or you can use it as an ID, and again play around with them, see what's most suitable, but for most cases an image array would be absolutely fine. Now you've got here the library all. So we want to just have access to all of the images in our library, and then we can select the one image that we actually want to use. So I'm going to leave that as that is. So that is the image. Let's go and select add field. We're going to add one more image here. So bear with me, because we don't have a gallery, let's now call this a mobile image. Mobile image. Field name is mobile image. Again, going to leave that as it is. So now we have a URL, we have a title for the company, URL of that website, desktop image, mobile image. Let's go ahead and add one more, which might be, for example, an introduction. What was the brief for this case study? What did our client ask us to do for them? So let's go ahead and maybe put in a text area here. So here would be website brief. We could call that website brief, for example. Website brief, that is fine. We could add in a default value here, like please type a short brief of this website build. And that's obviously what's going to appear within that value. We can delete that and then carry on typing. So that is absolutely fine. Do we want to add any more? We can also come back and add more to these afterwards. That's absolutely fine. So let's just leave this as it is for now. Now, one more thing I do want to show you is the validation. Now we can choose whether or not we want this to be required or not. So I do want to require each of these fields. We want to make sure that each time we are adding a case study, that these are all required and have to be inputted before they can actually publish this. So validation for each of these as required, required. And so that is okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and select Save Changes. So that is now been saved. Now what we can do is come down and under the settings, and this is obviously really important, under the settings here we've got the rules to determine. So when do we want this field group to be displayed? So at the minute we've got show this field group if post type is equal to, now we just need to add the custom post type that we want this to be displayed for. So ours is going to be case study. So with that selected, we've now got this field group only to be displayed when the post type is case study. So that should now only display for our case studies. So if we now select Save Changes, that is going to have added all of these new fields within that case studies editor. So I'm actually going to finish this lesson here, and in the next lesson we're going to pick up what that actually looks like when we add a new case study.